All right, so we're live. Let's get some music. And just the time to introduce my beautiful guest today. Right. All right, welcome everyone to a new yes, and we're grooving to the
Love it. I love the intro.
welcome everyone to a new episode of our leadership series. Today with me, I have a beautiful and incredibly talented and impressive mama of four and a CEO of JOVADI, or jewellery, so like jewelry of Laot, the high level. And I'm so honored to have you. It's gonna be such a beautiful conversation because we want to learn all about your amazing story. Welcome, my dear Ella.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hynd. I am so excited to be here today, and I'm
Mm.
looking forward to this conversation. And I have to tell you that I do admire what you're doing, how
Oh,
you spotlight women's voices and tell their stories. So
thank
I'm
you.
really grateful to have mine told today.
Oh, that's such an honor. Thank you for saying this. It touches me. And this is why I'm doing this. It's so that we can present incredible women that have good hearts and are
Mhm.
so good in what they do. We love
Thank
that.
you.
So, Ella, can you take us back to the beginning of Jovadi? How did it all start? What
Okay.
inspired you to
Mhm.
start your journey?
Okay. So I have to tell you, mine is more the story of Javadi is like a personal story. And
Uh-huh.
I'm sure every woman can relate with this scene. Either
Mhm.
you're with your husband in the store and you're trying to get him to buy you something you like.
Yeah.
So for me, it was more like jewelry. Every time we went shopping, I would try to get him to buy me what my friends owned because I wanted to be, like them. I wanted to have, if they had Cartier or Bulgari, I wanted to have the same thing.
Uh-huh.
And my husband would always be like, no way, you're different, you're unique. I'm buying you something different. And so I wasn't always happy with it at the point because I just wanted to have what they had. But
Mhm.
then what I noticed is that every time I went out and I was wearing the jewelry he purchased for me, people would be like, you look amazing. I love the jewelry. It could even be something as simple as me going to the doctor's office and I'm trying to, sign my name. And they're
Yeah.
like, oh my God, your ring looks
Your
amazing,
ring.
you know? And you were in a bad mood, and that instantly transforms your mood. So
That mm,
mhm,
you get the compliments.
you get the compliments, and as a woman, there's nothing like transforms you as hearing people tell you they like you, that what you're wearing,
Yeah.
or how you look.
Yeah.
So back then, I owned my own advertising and branding agency. I've always had design in my DNA.
Uh-huh.
But as every mother, when I had my four children, I had to take a pause from that.
Mhm.
So when I decided that it was time for me, to get back into working, I thought, okay, I do love the way I feel when people compliment me with the
Mhm.
jewelry. And I thought, okay, I love design. Why don't I enter into this new field of designing statement jewelry? And
Mhm.
that's really how it started. And what I was doing, I was thinking the type of jewelry that I like to wear, or what I'm now used to because of how my husband has shown me
Yeah.
these different unique pieces, I don't really see out there. And so I started with that vision to create something that was unique,
Unique.
something
Mhm.
that would make women just feel different and special. And
Mhm.
really, that's how Jovadi was formed. And,
Mhm.
essentially, I said, okay, I want to build something that is a legacy for my children. And so Jovadi is actually named after my four children, Joseph,
Uh-huh.
Joshua, Valeska.
Okay.
Yeah,
Really?
the
That's so
acronym.
nice.
That's
So
Jovadi.
they all feel they're part of it.
They all feel they're
Wow.
part of it. Actually, my last son feels a little bit more part of it because anytime I sell jewelry, he says he needs his 10%.
That's excellent. That's a good one. He
Yeah,
has a good business mind. Well,
exactly.
he's right, right?
Yeah.
Copyright. His
When
name
I
is
sold my very first piece and I was telling them the good news, is like, oh, where's my 10%?
excellent.
Yeah.
And how do you sit and design your pieces? Because frankly, what have struck me in your pieces is the beauty and the
Mhm.
colors that you choose.
Yes.
Have you always been an artist in that sense, or is it when you decided to go to jewelry?
So honestly, I think that, like I said, design is in my DNA. I don't even personally sketch my pieces. So with my team, I give them what the creative idea is, and
Ah,
then we go back and forth and iterate. And I think that's a really good point because I know a lot of people come and they're like, oh, I really want to start my business, but maybe they don't feel qualified in any sense. And
uh-huh.
I think that in the world we live in today, especially with you have so many different people who can collaborate with you. So you
Yes,
can even be like a designer without having the skills. As long as you have the right team around you, they should be
yes.
able to help you bring your vision to life.
I love that.
Yeah,
Having the right team around you. And
exactly.
the right team, doesn't it mirror the dedication of a leader? Because often, like one of the things that we always worry about is like, would I have the right team? Can I find them? How did
Mhm.
you magnetize all this right team
Okay.
around you? Yeah. Uh,
So I have to tell you, when I started, I was that solopreneur. I did everything. It was me, myself, and God, and I.
uh.
So
So you have some beautiful comments here. People are saying you're a jewel. Yeah, I know. We're talking diamonds. I announced it today. It's like it's
thank
time
you.
for
Thank
it's
you.
time of diamonds.
No. But honestly, to me, the business side and the creative side are just two sides of the same coin. You know,
Mhm.
so one day I'm planning a new jewelry collection. The other day I'm either doing the marketing strategy. But I have to say that one of the things that helped me is I have a double degree in accounting and marketing. So obviously,
Mm,
the accounting helped me with the business side of it, and then the marketing, the creative.
mm.
However, one of the founding principles that I always tie myself to in any decision I make is my core values.
Okay.
So my core values are life. So it's LIFE, and
Okay.
life stands for L is the legacy. So with
Legacy.
legacy, I'm always thinking, what impact am I leaving behind in any decision, whether it be business or creative? Like, what am
Mhm.
I leaving behind? What message am I sending with this campaign?
Uh-huh.
Um, I is for innovation. What is a
Okay.
new and fresh way that
Uh-huh.
can, bring this idea? Because jewelry has existed for 200 ages. Like, what is a
Yes.
new way to bring something different?
Uh,
From
uh-huh.
perspective, a different idea.
Mm-hmm.
F is family. You already know that I named the brand after my children. So
Uh-huh.
family really is at the core of everything I do. And
Uh-huh.
even family, yes, my family, but I feel like my clients also are
Our
part of my
family. I love that. I
family.
love it.
Absolutely.
Ah,
They're with me on this journey. So every decision also I have to tie it into that. And I have to tell you something because even in the world that we
E.
live in,
We didn't do the E. E.
no, I'm going to get to the E, but
Okay. 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 All right.
the F part of it really, when it comes to decision making, because
Okay.
sometimes I'm asked to collaborate with people and I say to myself, is this collaboration, if my children saw this,
Uh-huh.
what would their reaction be? So sometimes I have to turn
Oh.
things down because I
Oh.
feel okay, it doesn't fit into what I believe is like would be a good look for the family, for my
Yeah.
client, for me. And then the E is excellence. So I'm a
Excellence, which you embody in everything. Ah,
I might be just a tiny bit.
you are.
It's like, oh, okay, mom, you might have something because I want everything to look perfect.
And I
Ex-
love it.
yeah,
You said
every
excellence.
detail has to be at the highest standard. So
Details. It's
yeah,
all about details.
I
It's
love
diamonds,
the details.
colors are like matching.
I
Ah,
love the details. When I have an event, I'm always thinking, how can I do something new and exciting for my clients? How can we do something that's different from what
ah,
other people are doing? So yeah. That's basically so.
I love what you said
Yes.
because I want to come back to the F, which is
Yes.
family. And what I love about your approach to that is that you're not doing, because as a CEO and a business woman,
Mhm.
sometimes we're like, let's just make money. Let's do collaboration like money. But this is not what you do.
Exactly.
You're like, is it good for me now? Is
Yes.
it good for the brand later? Is it
Mhm.
good for my legacy?
Yes.
So, and that is incredible because this is like a multi-dimensional vision that you
Mhm.
bring into your business. Is it because you do it with your family, or
Mhm.
um, is it you as someone who wants to give back and to leave a footprint behind?
I think it's a combination of two things, but like I said, because the brand is named after my children,
Mm,
it really impacts the way I think. Um,
mm.
and when you say do things just to make money, I've had opportunities that would have been the perfect opportunity.
Really?
Yes, that I'd have to say no to
And you
because
can't tell us because this is all confidential and exciting. Okay.
sometimes I
Uh-huh.
just have to say no, and sometimes it's so painful, but I'll just say this will not serve me and the core
Mhm.
values I'm trying to build. And because sometimes it's really easy to compromise.
Mm.
You have opportunities that are just like, oh my God, I can't give up this opportunity. But what I thank God for is I've developed the discipline to just know to say no to the wrong things. Yes. And
Mhm.
just stick to those values.
And this is so unique. And I love to everyone to listen to this because you need to say no to things.
Sometimes. Yes.
Yes. No, because as women, we're always in a pleasing mode. So it's very hard for us to say no. And when you say no, we get to justify it and spend so many cents like trying to be nice, you know,
Yes. Mhm.
and you don't. You don't have to. You
You
don't have
don't
to.
have to. And it also helps with age also. I'm 50 years old. So after a while, some
I
things
love that club. We're all in the club. This is the best
after
one.
a while you're just like, okay, well, okay, that's what
Yeah.
it is.
And with the age, yeah, because you become wiser.
You become wiser and you feel that, you start to hone in on things that are really important to you because sometimes it's all about, the fame, the fortune. And then as you get older, you begin to understand that it's more about, the things that matter, the things that matter. And that's what you really focus your time on.
Another point that really strike me in your values, life, it's excellence,
Mhm.
because often we go looking for perfection, but
Mhm.
excellence is even better and
Mhm.
higher than perfection
Mhm. Yes.
because excellence you give your heart in what you do.
I give more than my heart. I
Tell
do.
us, what?
Yes.
How is that? Do you think it's time? It's what is it?
Because I'm always looking for ways to, for example, it's everything is cyclical. So let's say you've done this collection, then you're doing the next collection, you're thinking, how can I make sure that there's more impact with this collection? You do one event and you're thinking, how do I do something different?
Mm.
And as you know, there's the Bible says there's nothing new under the sun. So you're thinking within yourself, like, how do I still present the same thing, but in a
Mm.
different way? And I would have to say, like, for example, when we launched our flagship store in Paris, we
Yeah.
had this idea of building a real life carousel.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you can't imagine, but when the guests saw it, it was like they could not believe that they were in this
The
place
carousel.
and there's a full size carousel with
Really?
a model
Oh
standing
my
on it. So, and that's what I mean. For me, it's always thinking of what is a different way that I can present this, even with the designs, with the experiences, so
God.
that people feel like, okay, this is something special and something unique.
Wow. So, and what helps you do that? Is it the traveling? Is it the
Mhm.
different cultures? Is it music? What helps you channel creativity so beautifully in your work?
I have to say, number one is I think it's a God given ability. I think that's the way I was born, and that's one of the.
It is. It is. And amen to that. I mean, like we
Mhm.
celebrating that and gratitude for it. It
Yes,
is.
I'm absolutely because even before I started like my jewelry brand,
Mm.
I would different forms of things would really speak to me. So for example, when I travel, I go into a hotel lobby and I look at the chandeliers, I look at the design, and really that's what really inspires me.
Yeah.
If I go for a wedding, I look at the settings, and my mission is to bring beauty to the world. I love everything beautiful,
I love it.
So
Your mission is to bring beauty to the world. Hey, this is so beautiful. I
you know,
love that mission. I
yes.
love it. And you're doing it so well with your presence, with your everything about you, not just
Thank
your
you.
jewel. I think it's a whole lifestyle and way of being,
Mm-hmm.
really, mindset and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Your
Yeah.
yeah. Did you give some of that to your children? This creativity, this love for new things?
I would actually say my first daughter, Danielle, is absolutely creative. She designs. In fact, when I started my own jewelry brand, she started her own. And
Really?
wow,
Oh, she's doing competition to mama.
competition. She was selling more than me because everything
Really? Did
sent
she position herself premium as well?
no, not premium.
All
So when
right.
she was
Okay.
mailing out jewelry, I'm like, oh my God, where are you getting your clients from? Send some
I
to me.
love that.
Yes. And so she's absolutely creative. And then my second daughter, Valeska, actually is very artistic. So she would draw this cartoons and, she had really, in fact, I think she had a lot of followers on her, either Instagram or one of these social media channels,
Uh-huh.
where she's drawing out and sketching out cartoons. My son, Joseph, is more technical. He's very STEM minded. And then my last son, Joshua, is also very creative. He would be in on like the school plays and
That's nice.
yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful because, and I see that with my four children as well. I don't have to tell them. I see them drifting towards what I do, what I've been, been in finance for many years. So I see my daughters go into that field. I never told her. My son to engineer. So they somehow follow us without even needing to tell them, hey, do
Yeah.
this. And I think this is the most beautiful thing we do. And this is why every woman needs to stand with for her dream and do it. Because when you go towards your dream, you give the right for your children to go follow theirs.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I think you're not just an example of leadership in creating your brand, but also of a mother that empowers the children to also do the same. Oh, I love that. It's
Thank you.
beautiful. It's true. And and that's why I'm like, sometimes like, no guilt. No, I'm not busy. No, they watching me doing this. They're gonna do the same.
Mhm.
Sometimes like we carry that, right? Like, do I
Mhm.
spend a lot of time with my children? No, I spend more time with my business. But it's
Mhm.
okay. As long as you do what you love and
Mhm.
you're such a pleasant mama, that's
Mhm.
what we want. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's honestly, it is a delicate balance,
Mhm.
and it's something that I feel that every woman who has, children and is also in the workplace faces
Mhm.
is, am I doing too much? Am I traveling too much? So for instance, I live in Washington, D.C. area, but my store is in Paris. So that
Yeah.
means that I would have to travel sometimes. And I would find myself, for example, I just came back from
Yeah.
Paris,
Uh-huh.
Fashion Week.
Uh-huh.
I would come back from Fashion Week and log on and make sure the kids are doing their homework. And actually,
Really?
I'll
Wow.
tell
In the
you,
evening while you are in Paris. Oh my God.
while I'm in
I'm
Paris,
impressed.
every night we're checking homework. And I'll tell you a funny story, Dr. Hynd,
Yeah.
which you probably didn't know, because we were both recently at a gala
Yeah.
in Brussels.
Yes. Yes.
And then it was at the end, it was a birthday, right? The celebrant
Yes.
has a birthday
Exactly.
for
Uh-huh.
midnight. So
Uh-huh.
my son had a Zoom meeting at 6 p.m. Washington, D.C. time, which was midnight.
Which was midnight at the same moment. We
Exactly.
were celebrating. Huh?
So while they were celebrating, bringing out the cake and wishing happy birthday, I had to sneak out and I went and sat where like the staff do to do I logged onto my phone. I was doing the Zoom. And then at one point, the college counselor was like, I think I can hear music or something.
Like,
So
no.
I had
To
to
mute it.
I went outside. I sat inside a car for 1 hour while you guys were dancing inside.
Yes. Because you disappeared for a bit. That has to go for a Zoom call.
It was for a Zoom call because
Do you
my
know
son
what
is applying for college.
this is?
And
Respect,
yeah,
Ella.
so that
I
is
am
number
giving
one.
you my respect.
Yes. So for 1 hour, I was like missing.
Because this is the behind the scene no
It's
one
behind the
gets to
scene.
know.
And
It's the
that's
behind the
really
scene.
what we talk about. It's balance. Because I
Exactly.
could have been there. I could have been like, oh, it's the time for the song, and I still have to stay there. Of course,
No,
I don't like
no.
the fact that I'm missing that part of it.
It's
but
okay.
I also have to prioritize and say what is important at this moment. And I'm
Yes.
really grateful to God that I'm able to do both, because
Exactly.
it's
Yeah.
it's a blend of mix of both worlds. But
Yeah.
there are times when meetings with his counselors could be 9 p.m., which is
Of course.
3 a.m. Paris time.
So you got to wake up and
I
do
have
it.
to be awake to do it. I have to be awake to do it. So it's just making sure that you prioritize and that you know what your values, your goals are, and
Yeah.
then you just discipline yourself and get
And
it done.
you somehow make it work. There is magic that we
Mhm,
carry, us as women,
mhm,
and we try to put it down, but
mhm.
we don't have to. And not everybody needs to know all that stuff, you
Not
know?
everybody needs to know
Not
it.
everybody. It's like, I love your story, and thank you so much for sharing it, because we do so much behind the scene. One of the day I was live, and my daughter kept on calling me. I'm like, why is she calling me from school? And I'm in live, okay? And I'm like, "That's it." And she's like, I can't do sports because I'm tired. You need to send an email. I'm like, what do I do?
Now.
And I am on live, and it's just incredible. And I can't say that, but I just look very proper,
Of
professional.
course.
And I did send the email.
Email while you're
Yes, while I was live. And when I finished, I was telling my guests, yeah, look at us women. We get to juggle so many things and make it look so
make
easy.
it look easy. But I think that is an all too familiar story, because you're in the middle of something and then one of your children needs you. And it's
Yeah.
never calling the dad. The
No,
dad is
because they need you to be there.
they need you
Yes.
to be there. So, sometimes I'm in Paris and my daughter's calling in the meeting. I'm trying to text and you're still trying to, because you're not going to tell them, oh, I have a call from my
No, because it
daughter.
doesn't look professional. It doesn't sound
But you're
professional.
trying to text at the same
Yeah.
time. And
Yes, we all do. But we
yeah.
still love what we do. We still give our heart to what we do. We
Mhm.
still serve clients with all our heart and the love that we have.
Mhm.
And because we can keep this authenticity with everyone, is what makes you powerful and what makes every woman powerful. Truly.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You are a celebration, my dear Ella. I am in awe, because I found someone like me that actually says it's so beautiful. It looks, and it's glamorous.
You look amazing. And we both have 4 children. So that's
Yes, we
another
do. Yeah. So you cannot pretend that no one is calling me, because they all do. We can pretend.
sometimes you have to create so that no one runs in during your meeting. Like you say the message, but
Yeah.
now like I have a dog in the house and I'm
Okay.
like, the dog has to be, I don't want to hear barking. I don't want to hear
Yeah.
anyone calling
You
me.
gotta put
So
it back. Yeah.
everything. Yeah. For these 30 minutes, just give us peace.
But this is why we love us. We love us because we are real, because
Yes.
we're a human. You know how when I started BAL Method, my daughter was really young. She was like 4. She doesn't understand what I was doing. And each time I was coming and I was nervous because it was the beginning. So I'm gonna go live and I'm just nervous. I'm like, and then she shows up and I'm like, oh my God, I blush and everything. And she comes and sit here. So I have a lot of my calls where she's sitting. She was 4. She didn't know. And then with the time, I realized that it's part of who I am. And
Yeah.
this is what you want to keep. And I think that's the print you put in your brand in every piece you make. It's
Absolutely.
this real you. Because
Mhm.
when you make it the truth,
Mhm.
that's what comes across.
Mhm. And
And
honestly, I have to tell you that every time I tell the story that JOVADI is formed, it's basically an inspiration for my family. It's almost one of the stories that people really resonate with. They're like, oh, wow, it's amazing. So something I thought maybe was like just something personal to me. A lot of
Mm.
people come back and say, oh, my goodness, I'm so inspired by what you're doing with your family. And
Mm.
so, yeah, it's
Yeah, yeah, because I'm going to ask you one question, because that was in my mind. It's like, how did you decide to stay in a premium brand and do it?
Mhm.
This is an incredible boldness as a businesswoman. Can you tell us that?
So
How?
honestly, I have to say this, and this is the message of like I feel like, how do I inspire other people and tell
Yeah,
them?
yeah.
I will not sugarcoat it to say that it's easy. It
Mm.
definitely wasn't. It's a lonely journey because you're looking for who's going to help, who's going to reach out, and as much as women talk about women empowerment, I have to give it to you because you are an example of someone who actually empowers women. Because
Oh,
for the most part, I think that that term has just been diluted because we just say women empowerment, empowerment.
it's like that's
But,
true.
but when people start their business, they're like, there is no one where
There is no one. It's
there's
lonely at the top. That's true.
it's
Yeah,
so lonely, and it's
it is.
very rare to find people who actually reach out and who actually offer meaningful, advice, because for it to be meaningful, it has to move you from one, point to the other. Like
Yeah,
it has
yeah,
to cause a shift in you.
yeah. Mhm.
So for me, I would say that is my message to women is don't wait for permission. The
Ah,
world is not going to hand you like a green light to say, okay,
never,
go chase
never,
your dreams.
never,
You
never.
really have to work towards creating it, of course, with God helping you and everything, but you have to work towards creating it. So for
Yeah.
instance, when I started JOVADI,
Uh-huh.
I didn't come from a 200-year legacy. A lot of the houses,
That's
Chaumet,
yeah.
people have
Cartier,
been
whatever
around
that
for
is. Yes.
they have this 200-year legacy. So unlike the heritage houses,
Yes.
what I had was my vision and conviction. And
Yes.
so I always have to remind myself, as long as my story is authentic and
Uh-huh.
my craft is exceptional,
Uh-huh.
people will feel it.
They
You
would. Exactly. It doesnoesn't matter if you're 200-year-old or just fresh. That is
or
so true.
just fresh. Because there's a
Yes.
lot of challenges. I'm in a place
Of
like
course.
Paris. Everyone is coming in. They want to go to Cartier. They want to go to this. They want to
Yeah,
do
because
this.
they want the brand that has been there forever.
They
But
want the
you
brand that's
can,
been there for forever. They want the brand that their friends own. They want,
yeah. Mm.
So starting this in itself, people are like, oh my God, how are you going to compete with these
Yeah.
brands?
It's
But
bold. It's really bold.
it's
It's yeah.
bold, and of course there's a little bit of like fear, like, but I think that the more you just hone in on what you do and you stay true and authentic to who you are, then the results will show.
Yeah.
And I have to tell you this because when I launched JOVADI in Paris, I wasn't looking to make history or anything, but eventually people came to me and said, Ella, do you realize that you're the first Black woman to launch a jewelry brand in Paris? I
Mm.
was shocked. It's 2023. Like, no one else has done this. So it
Yes.
wasn't like I set out to do it, but if I did not, we would still be in a,
Nobody would have done it. Yes.
no one would have done it, at least up until this point.
Yeah.
And then even where our store is located. So we're located on 32 Avenue George Cinq,
George
which is
sang.
one
I
of
know.
the iconic streets in Paris. We're
Yeah.
directly across from the Four Seasons, which
Yes.
is
George sang.
arguably one of the world's most impressive
Iconic
hotels.
place. Everybody goes through that. Yeah.
Everybody goes through that. So just to think that I'm directly across from this, on this street, across from this hotel, people say to me, that is such an inspiration, that you really have inspired us, because if you can do it, then we can.
Yeah.
So
Everything is possible. That's
everything is possible. So I think really advice is to start now. If not now, then when, and just pray that God favors you and helps you in the journey. But
yeah.
it really is about just taking that first step.
It is, and you're doing it so beautifully, so
Thank
elegantly, and so heartfelt. It's like it feels so nice to listen to you,
you.
and so
Thank you.
accessible, because it doesn't feel like no, no, no. I am this very high level, and those. And I think to me that's how I see leadership in you. But I want to get your answer. I always ask my guests on what is your own understanding of leadership. What
Mhm.
does it mean to you to be a leader?
Honestly, I don't even know if I consider myself a leader in the sense of leading.
Uh-huh.
I just do what I feel is right, and I
Okay.
hope that it impacts people positively in my life. So I always want people to look at me and say, okay, looking at what I'm doing, how does it inspire them to do better?
Mm.
And even with the decisions I make, I'm hoping that I'm preaching to them in one way and hoping that they get a message from my life, right? So let
Yeah.
my life be the example. So leadership for me is just basically sticking to your convictions and not wavering.
Yeah.
That for me is how I lead. I want to lead by a powerful example.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, so for me, that really is my leadership style.
I love it. Sticking to your conviction,
Mhm,
having values that are really connected with your real self,
mhm.
and just keep on believing and keep on going so beautifully. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And also recognize the gift that you have and be grateful for it.
I'm absolutely grateful because I know that a lot of the concepts that I have, the things that come to me at night when I'm thinking,
Yeah.
I just wake up and I have an idea, and I know that those are all God given. So
Yeah.
I'm really, really grateful.
Mm.
Grateful to my husband
Mm.
who now taught me the true meaning of just being someone who's distinct and unique. And I can never go back to what I was before, because everyone wants to conform, wants to be the same, wants to be influenced. Before we had Instagram influencers, our friends are
Yes.
the number one
Yes.
influencers.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
you
That's
go to
true.
a party, you see them wearing something, you're like, come back to your husband, like, I need
I need
that.
that. Oh, and now.
And now, and
And now.
now. And he's always like, no, 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 no. So I don't know, like my ring. Don't you love my ring? It's so
I
different.
love your ring. I told you that the moment I saw it. And what I love about your rings is that you put them in here. And that's
I
really
do,
stunning.
but you can actually put it anywhere. You could
Okay.
move it,
Oh,
and
because that's the question I asked you. I'm like,
yeah,
oh yeah, that
depending
looks
on how
nice.
you feel, depending on how you're
Yes.
feeling. Yeah.
Well, you're amazing and stunning. And we're gonna connect everyone to Jovadi. We're gonna be your
Please
cheerleader
do. You
for
guys go
Jovadi.
to Paris.
Yes.
Look for Giovanni.
Everyone. We're
Everyone knows
sharing.
the seasons.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we're sharing your link, we're sharing your page, and we're sharing everyone to follow you to maybe get a beautiful ring, to get something
You
incredible
have
from you.
to. You have to
Yes.
start with this ring, which is the
Listen.
sister ring. It's
Uh-huh.
the S ring, and it stands for super woman, super mom, like
Ah,
super friend. So you can get it with your friend to connect. Super
I
daughter.
love that. We
Yeah.
are definitely getting this.
And we
Super, super.
are super,
Thank
super.
you. Thank you for bringing us such a beautiful spark this evening. It
Mhm,
has been so delightful. You are a
mhm.
jewel yourself, my dear Ella.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
for
much for
giving us.
your
Oh,
work, for
thank
empowering
you so
women in
much.
the true sense of it.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely incredible.
You too. Thank you for being with me today. Thank you, everyone, for being with us. Love the super, super. Everybody's happy and beautiful. And beautiful. So we're gonna all to follow the incredible, incredible Ella and
Please.
Jovadi. Jovadi is on Instagram. I'm gonna tag you, and I'll follow
Yes.
you on the other platform. Thank you for being with me
Absolutely.
today. Thank you,
And
everyone, for
see
joining
you
us.
guys in Paris. Bye.